Raw, I'ma give it to ya with no trivia. Raw like cocaine straight from Bolivia. My hip hop will rock and shock the nation like the Emancipation Proclamation. We MCs approach your slang is dead. You might as well run into the wall and bang your head. I'll cut your force, my force you doubting. I'm making cowards. Wait, no. God damn it, I done fucked it up. I'm making devils cower from the Caucasus Mountains. Oh, I'm sorry. Shout out to my folks from the Caucasus Mountains. All y'all not devils. All y'all not devils. Well, I'm Messiah. I set the microphone on fire. Rap styles vary and carry like Mariah. I come from the Laurel slums. And the county I'm from is coming through with enough niggas, enough guns. Let me calm down. Welcome to the Tuesday edition. Oh, Burn It Down with Kim Brown. I surely appreciate y'all taking some time to come and kick it with your homie on this glorious day, holiday. It's been 5 years, gang. 5 years since the glorious battle. This shit was like the War of 1812 in DC when the British came, crossed the Anacostia. Burn the White House to the ground. It was, in fact, the only time since the War of 1812 that the U.S. Capitol had been officially attacked. But was it some foreign enemy? Was it a sleeper cell? The enemy within? Well, yeah, it was definitely the enemy within. Because January 6th epitomized, even though it applies to a different demographic, it be your own niggas. Okay, J6 was nothing but your own niggas, and it was something that I'm so grateful that I was alive to see. Whites, mulleted whites, buzz cut whites, well-heeled whites, all kinds of whites across the MAGA white spectrum took planes. These niggas booked flights to come tear shit up. And what they tore up was the U.S. Capitol. What they also tore up, I hope, though it does not seem to be the case, but any sort of pretense of there being a so-called rules-based order. I'm hearing this tossed around a whole lot when discussing the Trump kidnapping of Nicolas Maduro when the U.S. military invaded Venezuela illegally and snatched their elected president. Rules-based order. Trump has disregarded the rules-based order. First of all, America has never adhered to any rules-based order, okay? A lot of talk about the Monroe Doctrine. As Trump, have you guys heard Trump called it the Donroe Doctrine? I said, white people are so fucking corny. My God. The richer the whites get, the cornier they fucking get. I mean, anyway, but America doesn't sign or recognize the International Criminal Court. It is not a participant or a signatory to the International Court of Justice. No, I don't. Well, let me not speak too soon because I don't actually know, but I would imagine, if any, there have been very few U.S. soldiers and or politicians and or military members that have been prosecuted in The Hague. I'm always here to be corrected for my folks that know history better than I. But I want us to remember January 6th. 5 years ago. And even though it was blatant when it happened, and I think for my OGs in here, for my OG fire famers, I mean, we had a show that day, kid. I think I might have a playlist around here somewhere, but we was on. We was talking that day. We saw each other that day, and I was loving it. That shit was great. And part of what really thrilled me to the bone was seeing U.S. Capitol Police get the absolute dog shit beat out of them by whites, right? And I was going back, and I'm not going to show any. We're going to see some different shit, but I was looking at some of the testimony from the U.S. Capitol Police when they were some sort of congressional committee, and they were talking about their experiences that day. Some of them got emotional. They got teary. They described their injuries, how they were beaten, tased. One officer said his eye almost got gouged out. We know that some U.S. Capitol Police officers took their own lives after January 6th. A couple of them died as a result of their injuries sustained that day. And I said, you almost had me with a little bit of empathy and compassion, but for the fact that these fucking pigs who got their ass beat by white supremacists screaming white power, HH, all the things, right? Everybody knows that had that have been a majority black, brown, Muslim crowd, the cops would have ran out of fucking bullets. They would have ran out of fucking bullets. So I have zero empathy for these fucking bastards. I'm glad y'all got y'all asses whooped by a bunch of fucking frothing at the mouth Caucasoids running around the U.S. Capitol like some zombies, taking shits in the hallway. Okay? Animals or barbarians, okay? And I'm glad the cops got the absolute dog shit beat out of them, because let that have been us, it would have been a massacre. It would have been a bloodbath. It would have been something that would have had to been noted in the history books, marked by blood running down the streets of Washington, D.C. So we don't have sympathy for the fucking cops. And you know who else don't have sympathy? Donald J. Trump. Every time somebody kicked it to Trump, hey, Trump, you know, sorry about J6, dog. You know, 140 U.S. Capitol Police officers, men and women, were injured in the line of duty on January 6th. You're not sorry. Trump said, I had shit to do with it. That's their problem. Be your own niggas. So much for the thin blue line. Anyway, but the way that J6 is intentionally, by the motherfuckers that caused the insurrection, intentionally misremembered or the willingness to obfuscate the actual narrative of what happened, I think is actually something to behold. And it speaks to the psychosis of whiteness. Shout out to Dr. Kehinde Andrews, the psychosis of whiteness. Dr. Andrews talks about it. The inability to recognize simple facts, the reality, to be able to explain honestly the events that transpired in a way that doesn't try to make people seem less culpable than what they were. I want to go to this interview. Circa, I'm not sure, but it's George Stephanopoulos. This is ABC News. He's talking to some MAGA douchebag. I don't know who this guy is. Named Derek. Derek is a MAGA streamer. Derek was there on J6. Derek said he ain't seen no cops get punched in the face. Derek said he don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. He said shit was a peaceful protest. It was a beautiful day, as the president said. So just an example of I can't even call it delusion, because I think it's a willful delusion. They know reality. They know what happened. But again, per whiteness, as it has been expressed exceptionally well in America, slavery wasn't that bad. In fact, slaves, they enjoyed it. The Indians, the native folks, the indigenous folks, they wanted to go west. They wanted to be onto themselves, you know. Oh, black people love Jim Crow. You know, redlining works. They like living over there. Anyway, let's go to the ABC News clip. I find it pretty hilarious. Let's take a listen.
You were standing right next to rioters who were clashing with police officers.
That's simply not true.
Derek, it's on video.
Okay.
I'll show it to you.
Do it.
Here it is. Ready?
Yeah.
This is your video.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
For the record, guys, I'm not touching anything. I am just here to watch.
Oh, that's not up there, the Capitol building. That's a bicycle
Right, they're
racks
about
back
to
there.
break through the first barricade.
Okay, the bicycle racks. Okay, yeah. I thought
Hold
you
on.
meant up at the Capitol.
Right,
Okay.
but this is the Capitol complex.
Well, they're not for the record, they're not clashing.
They're pushing the
They are
barricades. and the
removing
officers
barricades,
are on
yes,
other
but they're not
sides of it.
fighting
They're
police
not
officers.
removing the barricades, Derek. They're pushing through them.
They're not fighting. They're not fighting the police officers.
The
Though.
police
no
are
one
holding
there
the
that I
barricades back, Derek.
has show me where someone puts their hands on a police officer.
They're putting their hands on the barricades.
On the police
and
officer.
on the other side is the police officer.
Show me where someone puts their hands on a police officer.
Well, firstly, they're pushing the thing that the officers
I'm not
are
arguing
holding.
with you. I agree with you.
Show me where someone puts a hand on a police officer. By the way, if you guys are interested to go and find the show that we did on January 6, 2021, I think I remember playing some clips, either that show or subsequent shows, because it was a lot to get into. But anyway, there were videos of U.S. Capitol Police, some of them opening the barricades and letting the motherfucking crackazoids in there. What happened to them niggas? What happened to them cops? Nobody ever said, by the way. It was revealed that some officers were disciplined, but they were not specific with what they were disciplined for their conduct on January 6th. But back to Derek the douchebag's assessment. He didn't see no cops get beat. Oh, really? Oh, really? Get it queued up, Will, because you know, put me down, but let me be in the corner, because you know I love the commentary on January 6th. And it's so funny to me how this happened in 2021, guys. There was 1 million cameras in the Capitol. Cops were wearing body cams. It is indisputable that the Capitol was breached. Rioters entered the building. They smashed windows. One of them got shot and killed. And they was out there today. By the way, I didn't see any clips, so I'm not sure how well attended it was, but they were having, they being the groups associated with the J6 insurrection, like the Proud Boys, etc. They met at the Ellipse in DC for a reunion. The niggas had a reunion. Hold on. Why did they have a reunion, everybody? Because none of them niggas was in jail. Why are they out of jail? Because Trump overturned via his pardon pen 1,000 convictions of J6 insurrectionists, several of whom have reoffended in many different criminal areas, including domestic violence, including child sex abuse, including. Shock to nobody. However, when man say that they ain't see no cops get beat, this is why these ICE officers, these Gestapo pigs that are doing this horrific and cruel deportation mission, I don't know what the fuck to call it. If charges come post a Trump presidency, if the people decide in the meantime to rise up and maybe do some violencia against these motherfuckers, Trump is going to lead them niggas out to dry. And all cops should pay attention. By the way, you're just the foot soldiers of the fucking elite. Thomas Jefferson, I need to pull the quote, because when I saw the quote, I'm like, oh man. but Jefferson in his day, speaking of the overseer class, right? The would-be modern day police class, like he decried them and called them basically the dregs of society, like the worst of the whites are overseers, right? They don't respect you, coppers. the elites, the Trumps, the Teals, the Musk, they don't fucking respect you. You're there to protect their shit, and that's it. And if somebody harms you in the midst of that, well, tough shit for you. But anyway, speaking of being harmed, let us go back 5 years today. January 6, 2021. We are going to pick it up just before 1 p.m. Eastern time. The crowd had already amassed by the thousands after Trump's speech, and he sent them niggas down Constitution. He got them niggas fired up and ready to go. They had already did a little meth in the hotel room before they hit the streets. They was ready. So here we are. We're going to pick it up at about 12:52. So yeah, Will, yeah, you got me down. Put me down. Put them people up on the big screen, on the Summer Jam screen, please. And thank you. Let's take a listen, guys. January 6th.
Effectively a riot.
49 hours declaring it a riot.
Cruiser 5 to 50, be advised, Cal Police 1 advised they're trying to breach and get to the Capitol. 50, I copy.
Not hold the line. Where's your gun?
We're about 5 miles out. We're trying to make our way through all this.
I feel like Dropkick Murphy should be playing. Yes. Bust them up. Where are guns?
We have a breach of the Capitol. Breach of the Capitol to the upper level.
Jack, be advised they're requesting additional resources on the east side as they've broken into that window and they're trying to kick it in.
Well, they didn't try. Look at that. Looking just like their ancestors.
Without objection, the chair declares the House in recess pursuant to Clause 12B of Rule 1.
My kids didn't have the courage to do what should have been done to protect our country and our Constitution, giving states a chance to certify a corrected set of facts, not the fraudulent or inaccurate ones which they were asked to previously certify. U.S. demands the truth. Bring out facts.
Bring out Ben. Mike Pence, the vice president. Whoa! No bullets. Not nail bullet. Where are the bullets? Oh shit. White power. Let's go. Smack all y'all niggas, niggerettes. What about run? Hey, what? Look at that peaceful protest. That must be why none of them niggas got shot. Well, except Ashley. Rest in piss to Ashley.
We can't hold this. We're gonna get too many fucking people. Look at this fucking bandage twin, man. We're fucked.
We need an area for the housing members. They're all walking over now through the tunnels.
Woo!
We're trying to hold the upper deck. We're trying to hold the upper deck down. We need to hold the doors of the Capitol.
Now, imagine that's all black people.
I need good support.
Imagine that's all black people. Imagine that's all Muslims. It would have run out of bullets. Fuck the police. Fuck 12.
We lost the line. All MPD, step back. All MPD, step back up to the upper deck. All MPD, step back to the upper deck. ASAP.
Nancy. That shit is like warriors come out and play.
Jack Cruiser 50, be advised that Capitol Police is going to start moving their resources inside. They're going to start the M4 officers first.
If that had been black people, they would have found a way to fly a fucking Reaper drone into the U.S. Capitol.
H208 with 4 members. The door's barricaded. There's people flooded the hallways outside. We have no way out.
Y'all got guns.
Officers still remaining on the House floor, on the third floor, to use the subway themselves. It's time to evacuate so we can secure the members on the other side. Copy.
It's up to us people now, the American people. What are you ready to do? One more time. What are you ready to do? And whatever it takes, I'll lay my life down if it takes.
Absolutely. That's why we showed up today.
Oh, baby, you were so safe.
Hey, coming in if you don't bring her out. Fuck you. You back up.
Get him. Get him. Get officer down. Get him. Get him. Get him again. USA. Look at your people.
Some of that West Turn truck for backup.
Get him. As the crowd goes, wow. These cops up. Duck. Bobby weave.
They were peaceful people. These were great people. The crowd was unbelievable. And I mentioned the word love, the love in the air. I've never seen anything like it.
Me neither, Mr. President.
If you don't understand the rules of power, you are certainly.
All righty. Y'all, it's almost like watching Frosty the Snowman, the claymation or whatever the little puppet version was. It gives me the warm and fuzzies. And I love it because, you know, I if I said it wasn't a Negro in sight, obviously that's not true. There was a handful of misguided Negroes in the crowd. And yes, they were charged immediately and punished more harshly, though I do believe that they were pardoned as well by the president. And the Black U.S. Capitol Police officers who were charged with protecting members of Congress. And one very famous scene, I don't think it, maybe they ran a little clip of it, but Officer Goodman, I can't remember what his first name was, but he was the black cop who was trying to lead the mob up the stairs and trying to direct Mitt Romney to safety. And I said, sir, why did you do that? I mean, the backwardness of a black man putting his body in between a vicious white mob and Mitt fucking Romney, nigga, I will never understand. And it doesn't pay, does it, cop? I think I said this at the time, and I don't know, and I would like to know actually. Mitt Romney owes that black cop his life. He really does. Because the crackazoids was screaming "Hang Mike Pence," and they meant that shit. Okay, and they meant that shit. If they'd have got their hands on Mike Pence, they would have got Mike Pence. But I think they would have been happy just to get their hands on anybody. And trust me, mittens totally would have sufficed. And for that black cop to protect Mitt Romney over his own self as a black man versus a throng of violent whites, America has done quite a doozy on our people. and we need to take the shackles off our feet so we can dance. This shit don't make no sense. But Trump proved that there's no rules for white folks, right? And not to say that it needed proving, because it has been proven time and time again over centuries that white people obviously can move in ways in this country that other people, especially Black and Indigenous, cannot and could never. The violence that would have been unfurled on a Black crowd of that size. You guys, they have Black codes in Washington, D.C., basically. Meaning that if two or more Negroes are convening on a corner, that's reason enough for the police to stop and fuck with them, right? Legally. Like the DC City Council put this into law like last summer. Two or more Negroes cannot congregate without police intervention. So I want you to imagine thousands of rowdy Negroes, not us, not us as law-abiding citizens. But no, you guys, they'd have ran out of bullets. I'm not sure if you guys were able to hear my sparse commentary over the video. They would have found a way to fly an armed Reaper drone into the U.S. Capitol had that been Black people. Every cop would have emptied his weapon. I love the fact that Metropolitan Police, DC Police, got in on some of that ass whooping too. That was great. That was fantastic. We very much love that for them. But the country needed to see that, right? Because very much in the same way that we are seeing United States imperialism raise its horrific head versus Venezuela and its president and the first lady, it's because this is what they do, right? They do the imperialism abroad until I guess they have to bring the imperialism back home, right? But the issue is when they have done all of this oppression and subjugation and harm to every country damn near around the world and every peoples around the world, eventually they're going to run out of people. And now their people are the ones coming to enact that revenge on the symbols of power that have represented this country for a very long time as America prepares to celebrate its 250th birthday. I bet let 250 mark the beginning of the end, though the beginning of the end probably came back in the 70s. but it has been a steady drumbeat to the decline and to the fall of this country. And January 6th, I think, plays a very pivotal role in that. There is no rules-based order. The rules are for those that have no power. The order is for those that can shot call orders, the ones that demand orders, right? Who make the orders. That's who the rules-based order is for. And this is not a system that I believe can be redeemed, though I appreciate and applaud those that are trying to change the system from the inside. If that comes in the form of elections, of campaigns, of trying to affect policy and change laws, I think those things are very useful. However, America has done so much fuckery. The only way to right the ship is for the thing to fall. And Trump might push it down. It does appear as though Trump is trying to break everything. Not just America, but the world also. And that could actually very much be a reality here in the very soon future. But hold on, I'm gonna get to Venezuela in a second because I think it's possible that we could see another similar incident as January 6th, simply because U.S. law enforcement is not equipped, nor are they trained to deal with violent white mobs. When we look at our history, the pictures of that rabble in the U.S. Capitol could have been thousands of scenes of white lynch mobs amassed outside of courthouses or jails, waiting to pull out usually a very innocent Black person falsely accused of a crime. And the cops could do nothing to stop them. The cops were among them, as in J6. There were notable numbers of law enforcement, former military, even some elected officials that were in that mob. And that scene could have been 1850, could have been 1750. It's the same shit. Different toilet, different century for America's racist nonsense, except this time it attacked one of the symbols of power. And I hope it put the fear in the elite, though I'm not certain that it did, because Trump has done an exceptional job of continuing to convince his masses of MAGA poor white supporters that it is the other that is the cause of your economic hardship. It is the immigrants that are picking all your food. it's the fucking Venezuelans who produce zero fentanyl, as noted in the federal indictment of President Nicolas Maduro, where the charges were Trump claims this nigga is the fentanyl kingpin of the hemisphere. Fentanyl not mentioned a single time in the indictment of Nick Maduro and his wife. So it's always somebody else's fault. And that's how the poor whites, the subjugated, the whites who are themselves, some of them economically subjugated, and who are convinced that the other people are the cause of their misfortune, when it has always been the likes of Trump and his ilk, these child sex traffickers, these admitted and proven pedophiles. Like, the soul of this country is so fucking rotten. And for this country to continually proclaim how much of a Judeo-Christian nation it is, it's like, where? Show me. Show me, show me, show me, because justice does not exist here. All those rowdy white folks, charged, convicted, immediately pardoned, because they supported the system that ultimately, at least in that instance, when it comes to the legal aspect of it, supported them. But speaking of the legal aspect, like I said, Nicolas Maduro showed up in federal court in New York, seemingly completely unbothered. He probably is quite bothered by the cold, because I would imagine it's probably in the low 80s in Venezuela. And what's the temperature in New York, everybody? Not low 80s, right? So I'm sure Mr. Maduro maybe in a state of bewilderment, though he appeared, according to reports, extremely confident in his court appearance, where he and his wife pled not guilty. And again, I'd like to note that Celia Flores, Venezuela's first lady, appeared in court with her face bandaged and needing medical attention. They think, according to reports, that she may have a broken rib. Who broke her fucking rib? Let me guess, some jackbooted fucking thug wearing a U.S. Marine or Navy fucking uniform wanted to beat up this woman. That totally tracks. But the scenes that we're seeing coming from around the country in the U.S. after Trump announced that they had kidnapped Maduro, the way the U.S. media has covered this is it's telling, and it's also not surprising. And in fact, it gave me Iraqi freedom vibrations. So I'm old, right? so I was a pretty young thing when the United States invaded Iraq the second time. Of course, I was a baby when they did it the first time in 91, but the second time, I was a grown up in 2003. And they showed the pictures obviously, in my opinion, very selectively, the legacy news outlet showed pictures of Iraqis in the streets celebrating after Saddam Hussein had been deposed. Iraqis here in the States were also interviewed. Oh my God, we're so happy Saddam Hussein is gone. He's gone. We still feel that way? Is there ever, you know, obviously the situation in Iraq deteriorated post Saddam Hussein, and we're going to hope that there is a very different outcome for Venezuela. Hopefully, the U.S. military will decide not to occupy Venezuela, though this is America. There's no guarantees. We love to spend the country's treasure on trying to occupy other nations many thousands of miles away from our shores, because we're really smart people. This is an excellent, most excellent run country maybe ever. But the pictures showing that Venezuelans are uniformly excited that Maduro is gone is misleading, and it's false. There have been a lot of pro-Maduro protests in the streets of Caracas. In fact, before we went live, NBC Nightly News with Tom Llamas, I said, look at these niggas. Tom Llamas did the little preview. He was like, gunfire erupts in Caracas at a pro-Maduro rally. I said, wait a minute. In the past fucking 3 days, y'all done told me everybody came out to say bye to Maduro. But as soon as niggas come out and start bussing, oh, now it's pro-Maduro. Oh, you see how they do? Trying to smear Maduro supporters or events supporting Nicolas Maduro and the return of Nicolas Maduro are framed around the violence, which I'm skeptical. So anyway, I wanted to show you guys this clip. It's translated. And I think it gives at least a tiny bit of a broader sliver of perspective that all Venezuelans are not glad Maduro is gone. In fact, even the ones that didn't support Nicolas Maduro, I'm talking about Venezuelans in the country, not these motherfucking Miami ass, not these fucking Miami ass Venezuelans. I'm talking about the ones still very much in the homeland. Even the ones who did not support Maduro still came out in the streets because their country's sovereignty had been violated. And it is foolish. Like Marina Machado, oh girl, who got the Nobel Peace Prize, like her basically pleading for the United States to invade her country. Bitch, are you high? have you want to talk to someone from Iraq to check in and see what the fucking reputation? How would Iraq rate the United States occupation? 0 out of 5 stars. Do not fucking recommend. So anyway, let's take a listen to the sister who was on the streets of Caracas, giving us a different perspective of how Venezuelans actually feel about Nicolas Maduro being kidnapped and their country's sovereignty being willfully violated by the U.S. Let's take a listen.
Want them to impose a Yankee government on us. We are free and sovereign. We don't want them to impose a Yankee government on us. We are free and sovereign. We are a people with guarantees in the Bolivarian Constitution. We are a free people, free and sovereign. Donald Trump is not going to take our oil. Rubio is not going to govern us. We have a president and a vice president who will assume for now, but our president is Nicolas Maduro.
Here is the great motorized force of Caracas. We took to the streets of Caracas to tell the world to raise their voice about the kidnapping of our president. And we want him back, damn it. Long live the homeland, and long live Maduro.
And I think that is a more widespread sentiment than the U.S. media is giving leeway to. And again, not their whole, but part of what they are doing, the U.S. hegemonic government, being assisted by U.S. mainstream and legacy media outlets, they want to paint Maduro as illegitimate. I don't even know what the fuck that means. They claim that Maduro lost that last election. And again, to me, that's very much not a certifiable fact, because Western media, particularly from the United States, the U.S. slant, it can't be believed when it comes to its adversaries. Nothing the US says about Venezuela, about Haiti, about Nicaragua, about Cuba, like none of this shit is true. It all serves a very unipolar narrative, right? Like we are the only good people, and because these people won't let us steal their oil, then that makes Maduro a dictator. And by the way, that's another thing that keeps getting thrown around. And educate me here, chat, because fuck, I don't be knowing sometimes. Every news reporter, anchor, pundit, when they refer to Nicolas Maduro, they keep calling him a dictator. Dictator, Nicolas Maduro, the dictator. How is Venezuela going to respond in a post-dictatorial world? I'm like, nigga, Trump is a fucking dictator. Like, if I need evidence. Like, what is the evidence? Like, where is the actual proof that whatever Nicolas Maduro is being accused of and being painted as a dictator, how is that different than what any US president has done or how any US president has governed? And if you want to use the current example, we can totally do that, because that is the easiest proof that we are truly under a dictatorship ourselves. And whether or not the media, I don't know. I keep giving people the benefit of the doubt, and I have to stop doing that, because when I see people in certain positions, I erroneously sometimes assume a baseline level of intelligence, of comprehension, of the ability to put shit together. And I'm realizing I'm giving people too much credit. But if the US media can report unironically that Nicolas Maduro is a dictator and not also report that we ourselves are living under dictator type conditions, authoritarian governance right now, you cannot believe a single thing that they say truly about anything. And I know that also kind of sounds like MAGA. You're fake news. MAGA say everything is fake news. Shit, I might be with them niggas, because there'd be a lot of fake news out here. I am not with MAGA. We are. Don't worry. I'm still on the right side of the barricades. Make no mistake. But you understand, fake news when it comes to America's resistors, nation states and peoples that do not toe the U.S. imperial economic dominant extract exploit, but people, the countries and regime, and let me not say regimes, but governments that don't support that, you can't really believe what is being reported about them, their society, how they live, and what their intentions are, because it's all going to be misinformation. I just want to say, Trump kicking in the door of Nicolas Maduro's compound, figuratively, of course, tracks very much with what happened on January 6th. The world, the global leaders, I did see a little bit of the United Nations Security Council meeting. Yeah, America didn't give a fuck. America didn't give a single shit as to what all the other countries had to say. But it's important that some of the other countries, including NATO and the European Union, really pay very close attention to what's happening in Venezuela, because the reluctance to condemn the United States full-throatedly is giving Trump the green light to do the same shit to Greenland. I don't know if Europe's ready for that. And let me put my tinfoil hat on here for a real quick second. What if Trump and Putin behind the scenes, because we know they're buddies, they do business. I mean, Putin's the smart friend in the friendship relationship, but whatever, he still let Donnie hang around a little bit. What if on the low, Trump and Putin are conspiring to basically carve up the world betwixt the two of them, right? So Russia pushes west from Ukraine and westward, and the United States invades Denmark and makes the United Kingdom, France, Brussels, makes them niggas get down or lay down, right? Or get with the program. I'm just saying, Trump seems to be on his, I'm not going to do, my heart, whatever the fuck, Elon, we don't do that. But you understand, Trump is very much on his HH vibrations right now. Like, he really seems to believe that he should be the emperor of the world. And I think we should take him seriously on that. But at the same time that Trump has proven to us that the rules don't apply to him and them, we have to take off the shackles of compliance. Okay. We have to stop going along to get along. And I understand there are consequences and repercussions for non-compliance, right? We know that, but we can't continue to obey while watching everything be stripped away and destroyed. Because if we do that, then we absolutely deserve what comes next, right? If we don't literally stand up and fight with fists, then we just gonna get beat up. And I want us to take away from January 6th that, in the ways that we can, and they may not always be safe ways, but we have to figure out how to push back in ways that make them hurt. Whether or not that's economically, whether or not that's physically, they have to hurt because they're hurting us. And that can't be allowed to continue. I don't want that for your children. I don't want that for your children's children. I don't want that for us. I don't want that for us right now in this moment. So be inspired by January 6th, everybody. Sometimes our enemies might attack each other and potentially take themselves out. And we should support that. Hey, thank you guys so much for joining us. You guys are super cool. Come hang out with us again tomorrow morning on the Remix Morning Show. I have set an alarm. I don't know who's going to be there. I think Jackie's off. So we'll see. Shout out to Ricky. Shout out to Claudia. Anybody that can come through, y'all might be co-hosting the remix tomorrow with me. So, be ready to turn on your camera. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate that. What else was I going to get into? All right, I'm going to keep this moving here. We've got some folks watching. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Much blessings going out to all of our patrons and our YouTube channel members. If you want to be like the cool kids, it's patreon.com/BIDWKB. I appreciate you guys' support in all the things that you do. So this is a quick story. And on my run sheet, I titled this segment, I think I titled it, these people need their face beat in. Okay. There was this story coming out of the Philadelphia area, Upper Darby, right there, of a teen girl who was being lured by a man in his 40s. On its surface, this may not strike you as a big story, partly because child sex abuse and the grooming of children and the harming of women and girls and kids is all very normalized in this society. So we see these stories all the time, and it doesn't change anything. Unfortunately, it changes very little because this is such a routine part of how women and kids are treated by the dominant patriarchy, right? So y'all might be like, Kim, is this really? No, it is a story, because here's the thing. Well, fuck it. Let me run the story, then let me tell you what the thing is. Go ahead, Will. Let's run that.
After a man allegedly followed alert tonight, after a man allegedly followed a 13-year-old girl and tried to lure her into his vehicle. The girl was able to run into a nearby business and ask for help. And while that suspect has now been identified and taken into custody, detectives are trying to figure out if he may have targeted other children. Action News reporter Cheyenne Corinne live in Upper Darby with that investigation. Cheyenne.
Rick, that 13-year-old girl says that she was walking along Cedar Ave here in Upper Darby, which is actually right around the corner. But fortunately, she was able to get away after she ran to this Wawa and asked someone for help.
I have to give the credit to this young girl, this 13-year-old. She knew what to do. She knew that something wasn't right.
46-year-old Dwayne Alston is charged with stalking and trying to lure a child into a motor vehicle. Upper Darby police say around 11:30 yesterday morning, he approached a 13-year-old girl who was walking on Cedar Lane and told her to get in his white Dodge pickup truck.
Thankfully, the 13-year-old has a wherewithal not to get in and walks to the Wawa. He then proceeds to say to her, hey, are you looking for friends with benefits?
The girl then asked a stranger at the Wawa on Westchester Pike for help. The Good Samaritan then confronts the suspect.
He approaches the guy. They have words. Our male who's driving the white pickup truck pulls up into the gas line, doesn't get gas, and what he proceeds to do after he has a confrontation with this male is take his license plate off.
However, police say they were able to identify Alston using the girl's account, surveillance video, and witness statements.
He previously pled guilty to statutory sexual assault and corruption of minors, so I can't speak to what he was going to do, but I can tell you in my experience, it would not have been something good.
I'm not sure if this guy was on the registry, though I imagine that he would be, considering that his previous convictions have to do with sexual abuse of a kid. And the reason I wanted to show y'all that story is because dudes like this can't just be walking around out here. Dudes like this exist everywhere. This story came out of the Philadelphia area. I would venture to say, if you did a little, you let your Google fingers do the walking, you might find a similar story in your area that has occurred very recently. This is a very common occurrence in which young people, in this case, a young girl, was propositioned and harassed. And that's a crime, by the way. To try to lure a child. And I hope this guy is going to be facing big charges. But my curiosity is this. The criminal justice system has already proven to us that, you know, they don't take the sexual abuse of children very seriously. CC the Epstein files currently in circulation, right? Men, well, rather predators. Let me not say men, because, you know, I don't hate all you hoes. I hate all y'all not hoes, but I don't hate y'all. You understand? I hate the bad men. And where I do get grumpy at non-bad men is that because I fucking know it. The bad men are not being corrected by the so-called good guys. What I'm about to say next is for entertainment purposes only, okay? In a perfect fictitious world, men that are on the sex offender registry would get routine visits, not from their probation officer, but from other men who live in proximity to that man. Every man, every adult on the sex offender registry, wherever, the community not only needs to know where they are, but they need to check in. Like, the community needs to check in, because we know the police don't keep us safe. These predators usually get minimal sentences, little slaps on the wrist, and then they are released again to cause harm and mayhem in our communities, particularly against young people, traumatizing them and scarring them for life. They shouldn't be allowed to do that. And to our knowledge, at least per this report, this gentleman, Alston, has harmed, according to his conviction, at least one child, and was aiming to harm another. What are the chances that he has harmed other children that he has just not been caught for, right? Why does he have teeth in his mouth, everybody? I'll wait. You understand? Like, these motherfuckers need to be given knuckle sandwiches on a regular basis. You still looking at little girls, motherfucker? You still looking at little girls, motherfucker? I don't understand why these dudes is out here walking around uninjured weekly. Understand, there is no rehabilitation for child sex offenders, for people who are pedophiles, for people who have sexual attraction to children. They keep that. They hold on to that. Jail, rehabilitation therapy, all the psychologists that deal with pedophiles unanimously say that there is no rehab. They don't get better. They just improve their methods. They get better at how they select their prey. This is how little children end up dead, by the way, because these predators will harm the first one, the first two, the first five. One of the victims may come forward, and then he gets in trouble, does a little time, and then comes out trying to figure where he can improve in his game. And tragically, that does end up being murder for future victims. It's bad. But here's the thing. These motherfuckers need to have their teeth knocked out before it gets bad. It's already bad for this particular guy. 46 years old, y'all. My fucking age mate. Do you know what I would do to a man known to me? If I knew a guy, like if I knew that dude, I saw his picture on the fucking news. Even if I had a friendship, acquaintanceship with them, dog, I'm trying to find the thugs to go fucking stomp him out. That's the only way these pedophiles are going to learn. This is the only way to keep children and women safe in our communities, is if truly the men in the community step up with fists, okay? With click clacks. I don't give a fuck. Stop these motherfuckers. They are menaces. They are serial in their predation. They are there to accumulate numbers of victims. It is your job, men, to protect us. This is why so many women have had to find ways to protect ourselves because the man done falling down on the job, and we know the police don't do a fucking thing. The police are the goddamn predators themselves. The fuck. That's why that's why I encourage women to become dangerous. Figure out how to be dangerous. But the problem is the 13-year-old little girl, she may not have the savvy to be dangerous, but she did have enough savvy to keep herself safe. She knew not to get into the truck. And I hate that 13-year-olds have got to be on their P's and Q's. 13-year-olds have to be made aware that they are on the menu for 46-year-old men, and they have to protect themselves. And I applaud and I appreciate the members of the community, the man that came out and confronted Alston. Good for him. I wish he would have got his hands on him. But it sounds like the bruv might have been willing to put hands on him. Good. That's what it's going to take. So my point is this. Sex offender registries are public. They are available. They include addresses. You do with that information what the fuck you will. So, time to move on to the palate cleansers. Real quick, I wanted to thank everybody for your awesome sauce support. Shout out to Angela Walker. Angela, my Cash App is on the fritz, but I thought I saw an email or something. And I said, that's Angela Walker. So shout out, even if you didn't run me something, Angela Walker, shout out to Angela Walker. Shout out Mike Mack. Shout out to Donnie Bird. And I appreciate all you guys. By the way, you guys know my super chats work over here too, right? like my shit. Yeah, you know, we wasn't demonetized, even though we probably could have and maybe, but we wasn't though. But so my shit worked, by the way. So if you guys want to support the platform in any way possible, I certainly appreciate it. Your presence is also deeply appreciated and is well received, certainly by I. So my next couple, all right. So I got some palate cleansers. Really, only one of them is a true palate cleanser because I think the funny one will genuinely make you guys laugh. But the first scene I want us to go to, is that the one I have queued up next here, Will? The scenes from Manhattan, Lower East Side in New York City. New York City. I assume so. Okay. So this is what we're going to do. As you guys know, ICE is still very much on their bullshit, on their kidnapping missions. horrific things are being done. In fact, ICE is ramping up their activity seemingly across the country. In Los Angeles, according to LA Taco, they reported over the Christmas holidays and the few days between Christmas and New Year's, like 150 people were taken. People are still being taken in Chicago. People are still being taken here in Maryland, in DC. I mean, this is an ongoing problem. Speaking about living under a dictator, people are being denied their due process. People are here legally, and the Trump administration doesn't give a shit about any of that. However, ICE and Homeland Security continue to find themselves regularly confronted by members of the community, passersby. When people see ICE doing their fuckery, people are stopping. They're blowing their whistles, they're honking their horns, they're calling these people the most amazing names. and they say sticks and stones to break my bones, or words will never hurt me. Au contraire, baby. People unalive themselves all the time behind words. And, you know, maybe that could be the case for some of these Gestapo. But I wanted to show you guys New York, because New York don't be fucking around, and I respect it. So let's go to the Lower East Side of Manhattan, where ICE was caught on a bullshit. And when I tell you the people, all of a sudden, all of a sudden, everybody on this Manhattan street started to pay attention and gave them niggas the business. So let's check that out.
How do you go to sleep at night? How do you go to sleep at night?
Show your face, coward! Show your face!
Show your fucking face!
What are you doing? Show your face, you fucking coward! Show your face! Don't push me, coward! Show your face! Show your face!
Yeah. And that's a regular type scene being played out in cities across this country. But we want to salute New Yorkers for not fucking around and letting those people know. Again, there should be no peace for ICE agents. There should be no respite for Homeland Security or any of these other alphabet boy agencies that are participating willfully in the oppression and abduction of people that fully deserve to be here. And by the way, you guys know I say abolish all borders. I don't give a fuck if niggas got documented or undocumented. I don't care. As long as people are not being harmful to one another, open the border for all I goddamn care, right? But back to the resistance, or at least the confrontation of regular people in the community versus these armed people. And trust you me, ICE is still out here very much harming people. People continue to die in ICE custody. It is horrific. It is bad. But I want people, especially watching from outside of the US, big up to our UK contingent and anyone that might be watching. Shout out to Cape Socialists on the continent. Like, listen, y'all, Americans, all of us, do not have our heads in the sand. Everybody is not complying. Everybody is not going along to get along. I mean, we still absolutely have a ways to go. I think that the rowdiness quotient could actually be ratcheted up quite a bit on behalf of the American people versus the state and what they're doing. But regular people are moved to at least, at minimum, use their words. And words have impact. In some of the places, especially in the Southern California area that I've seen, people are posting up in the hotel parking lots where ICE is, residing. They're blaring music all night long. No peace. Restaurateurs are placing signage saying that ICE and Homeland Security are not welcome. I know that signage is all prevalent throughout the New Orleans area. I've seen people kick out ICE agents sitting down and eating. Like, they can't know comfort. They cannot know peace. And while I would say absolutely, don't you never ever dox any federal agent. That's bad, okay? I don't want you to ever do that. Don't do that. Don't find out things about them, okay? Don't do that. But for those that are doing that, I say good work. Shout out to New York. And that's not really a palate cleanser, I know. But I love to see cops getting cussed. That makes that, I like it. So, I mean, there you go. My next palate cleanser is kind of an extension of a story that has been making the rounds, particularly around the right-wing media sphere. And I think it percolated to some of the cable news networks, but I don't watch them shit, so I can't say that for certain. But the scandal, contrived, astroturfed scandal coming out of Minneapolis as the Trump administration continues to target members of the Somali community there in Minnesota. And it's like, nigga, did you hear this dumbass Trump real quick? Trump was like, yeah, and the Somalis, they're pirates. It's like, nigga, you just stole 3 oil tankers. The fuck are you talking about? Who the fuck are you calling a pirate? Pirate anyway. So ICE and Homeland Security have been doing targeted operations in and around the Twin Cities, really across the state of Minnesota, especially where the Somalis are concentrated. This douchebag MAGA streamer, Nick Shirley, I never heard of this little cracker ever, ever, until I saw the kerfuffle that he was causing, because he's this little dipshit who went to the daycare center in Minneapolis that I believe is Somali ran and operated, right? And went into his, I don't know what he did. He discovered that they had been under investigation, but for things not related to fraud. But all this has to do with the alleged COVID fraud that the Somalis scammed billions of dollars. I said, baby, Black people scamming every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We could never scam and thief to the extent or to the tune of the whites. Let us even be serious. And even to the tune of how much the whites thiefed and scammed the COVID funds, the PPP loans out of Minneapolis, out of Minnesota more specifically. I remember covering the story because I remember I was shocked at the number. The white bitch, her name was Amy. Amy was up there doing big thieving, right? So this lady stole so much money. It doesn't compare to whatever fraud that alleged that the Somalis committed. It's so, anyway, I have to laugh when white people talk about they steal. I need y'all to check your own fucking scoreboard, for fuck's sake. When whites talk about other people steal, every accusation is a confession. Anyway, Nick Shirley, this MAGA douchebag streamer dipshit, is really causing problems for the Somali community, right? Because as you can imagine, the MAGA folks have seized upon it because, again, everybody else is why their life is fucked up. It's the Venezuelans, it's the Haitians, it's the migrants, it's the fucking Greenlanders. now it's the Somalis taking up all that child care and making shit hard. But anyway, Nick Shirley, I guess, I'm not sure if he is Minnesota based. Maybe I actually think that he is Minnesota based. He was confronted by a gentleman, and I'm not quite sure about this guy's name. The account that posted this clip that we're about to show, the account is attributed to Moolah. I'm not sure if this is Moolah behind the camera confronting Nick Shirley, but I wanted you guys to see this because this is the energy, okay? When these fucking invaders, these colonizers come in to cause chaos in our communities, they need to be confronted, okay? I don't give a fuck how big their fucking platforms are. I don't care, how much white fragility and victimhood that they are absolutely going to emote. Confront these motherfuckers, especially if they are doing things that endangers members of your community. So this Somali American gentleman, he's got an American accent, confronts Nick Shirley in the street, and I want you guys to check it out because we need this energy.
How you doing, man? How you doing, man?
I just want to ask you.
Yes, sir.
Why are you sensationalizing the propaganda?
What are we sensationalizing?
To attack our community. What's your final objective?
We're not attacking your community by any means.
Are you making good money from this?
We're looking for fraud.
No,
For instance, can you answer our question? Where's Safari Transportation Company 607?
1 second.
It's not there.
How much money are you? How much money are you making?
Dreamline Security.
How much money are you making
off
of this?
I make money off of YouTube. That's how I make my money.
Exactly. So you're making money off of sensationalizing.
That's my job.
And attacking the Somali community.
I'm not attacking you guys. We're asking.
I'll tell you the reason why this is happening. All right. Let me tell you the reason why you're attacking
fraud,
this.
Correct?
Yes.
This has nothing to do with race. This is fraud.
This is absolutely has to do with us being Muslim.
No, it does not.
All right, and us being from Africa. This is a constitutional argument. If you don't want us here, change the freedom of religion. Say, listen, we don't want Muslims in this country anymore.
We're not saying
no.
We're
because when I go onto your comments, when I go onto your comments, what I see is people that say we do not want Muslims here. Kick every single Muslim in Minnesota out of Minnesota.
That's a comment.
You're preparing for the Somali community to maybe be taken to concentration camps, just like the Japanese community. All right, you're sensationalizing.
No, we're not.
All right,
Sir,
something that can that's something that can jeopardize the safety and the protection of the Somali community. If anything happens to the Somali community, listen, I'm not doing anything. I'm not physically touching you.
You're getting very close.
I'm not physically touching you. No, I'm not physically touching you.
This is fraud.
What you're doing, when I go into your comments, people who hate Muslims, who want us out of here for being Muslim, are using your material. Islamophobes use your material. People who hate Islam use your material. Say to us, we don't want you here. Change the Constitution. But guess what? Let me tell you something. Guess what?
Say it. We're asking about
fraud.
What
you do, you hate Muslims.
I'm not saying I hate
Muslims. You hate Muslims. Why are you attacking us? Are we the only community that suffers because of fraud?
We're talking about fraud.
Are we the only community that does fraud? Are we the only community that does this?
This is about fraud.
All right, but there's 300 Somali providers in all of Minnesota?
There's actually
don't touch me. Do you speak English? Right? Your security doesn't even speak English. Listen, let me tell you something.
See, this isn't a race issue,
Listen, let me say something.
This is about fraud.
We have, 1,000 providers?
Yeah, you guys have a...
Even it's 2,000 providers. Okay, you want to sacrifice the safety of 80,000 people because of fucking 2,000 providers? Are you fucking mad? Are you stupid?
I'm not stupid, you're stupid.
You're sensationalizing. What about if a mass shooting happens in Minnesota? It will be because of you. It will be because of you. If any Somali gets hurt in Minnesota, it's because of Nick fucking Shirley. If any Somali, if one single Somali gets hurt, it's because of you. Sensationalizes, you son of a bitch. sensationalize this.
Wow, you're
Get the
very
fuck
nice.
out of our neighborhood.
Very nice.
Get the fuck out of our
Sir,
neighborhood.
can you tell me where the
Get the
transportation
fuck out of our neighborhood. We don't want you here.
Oh, your neighborhood.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Calm down, sir.
Get the fuck out of here. You want to sensationalize? You want clicks? You got clicks. You want clicks? You got clicks. You wanted clicks? You wanted the YouTube? You wanted the YouTube clicks? You got YouTube clicks. Now get the fuck out of our community.
Tell me where the
Get the
transportation
fuck out of our community.
Tell me where the...
You stupid racist motherfucker. Say I don't want Muslims here. Say I don't want Muslims here. Say it. Say I want to change the Constitution.
No, I don't
and I want to change freedom of religion. And I don't want Muslim Somalis in Minnesota. Kick them out. I was born in this country. You have to take the passport away from me.
Relax.
That is what you are arguing for.
Down, we're not talking.
Change the Constitution. Fuck you. Get the fuck out of my community. Get the fuck out of our community. Get the fuck out of our community. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Stupid fucking idiot.
That went well. I mean, the brother came in peace initially, and clearly he anticipated the reaction and the response that he got from Nick Shirley in the form of, this is not about race, not about religion, it's about fraud. How come white folks don't ever want to address the fraud in their own community? How come white folks never want to address the criminality in their own community, the rampant sexual abuse in their own community? Again, I'm not saying that these particular things don't exist in other communities. It's just that white folks self-deputize themselves. They're the ones. Well, we gotta help the blacks. We need to help these, these uncivilized people. Stop committing crimes. No, stop your own uncivilized people from committing crimes. Fraud, as broad-based as that is, it is the accusation against some of these childcare providers that are Somali owned and operated out of Minnesota. But to my understanding, the one childcare place, I think it's called ABC Nursery or ABC Childcare, they unfortunately, for a stretch, I'm not sure if they have still closed their doors, but they had to shut down because of Nick Shirley's reporting. All kinds of right-wing MAGA douche bros were showing up to this daycare center, demanding entrance and access to the daycare center, wanting to examine their files, wanting to do inspections. I'm sorry, Connor, are you qualified to come in here and inspect the fucking daycare because you saw a video on YouTube, you entitled piece of shit? What Nick Shirley has done / is doing is a tale as old as time. Racist whites will always sensationalize, even fabricate alleged criminal conduct of non-white people, but especially black people, because black people. Black people. In a different era, that kind of news sold newspapers, right? It got eyeballs to the TV platforms, and now it drives clicks and traffic to your YouTube channel. To concoct or over-exaggerate the criminality of other groups that are not white. And white people, the racists, of course, not our friends here, but the rest of the whites, the wide swath of the whites can never look into that mirror and be willing to not even acknowledge the ills in their own community, but be willing to to confront and solve them. But it is this white savior complex that we have to make sure that these other people are adhering to the law, because you just can't have criminals running rampant. And I appreciate the brother's energy when he told him to get the fuck out of our neighborhood, get the fuck out of our community. I don't think everybody should be welcome everywhere. Okay. America's kind of built on that. Restrictive covenants, redlining, sundown towns, right? Like, white people have made it clear where we are not welcome, right? They put that shit in policy. They enshrined it everywhere. Okay. It's time for some reciprocity. You see some fucking white ones on some foolishness in your neighborhood, tell them to get the fuck on, move, keep it moving. I'm sorry. Do you belong here? You better Karen them motherfuckers as soon as you see. Excuse me. Are you supposed to be here? They're not gonna like that, but you should do it anyway because it is totally what they deserve. And when it comes to these kinds of stories, maligning Somali people, I have, and not just Somali, when it comes to, you know, the other migrant groups here in the United States, sometimes I do see Black people falling for the banana in the tailpipe, and whether or not they are themselves MAGA, more often than not, they aren't MAGA, but somehow are coming up with these conservative viewpoints and conservative talking points. Please correct your folks. Please correct your folks. See, part of our ability, I think, to defeat this system, we have to convince, I'm talking to Black folks here, we have to convince Black people to stop being fucking patriotic, okay? You were born in America. You are not an American, all right? Please know that. And whatever treatment or harassment or targeting that Africans in this country receive, that Latinos, Asians in this country receive, yes, we know that we were the originators and have felt the brunt of that harsher and longer. But just because we are well, we're not the OG, I'm sorry, shout out to our indigenous people, of course, but you understand. But that doesn't mean that now, because our lineage has been here hundreds of years, that somehow makes us American, and that we can point fingers at the Somalis, at the Mexicans, and talk about what those people are doing. No, nigga. Let the elites in the white power structure tell us all of yous is niggas, okay? Your niggas has been here for 400 years. You new niggas, you middle of the road. All yous is niggas. And I wish Black people would accept that. We have more in common with the Somali community than we do with white folks that may have been on this continent for a comparable amount of time as us. And we need to stand up when those communities are under attack. And I know the ADOS people especially will be like, well, they don't protect us. Well, they need to get their shit together on that end too. I will not disagree, okay? Because anti-Black Americanness absolutely is a thing. But I'm hoping that our migrant communities, or people, or groups rather, or people within those groups that held those views, that would look down on Black communities and, you know, they don't try hard enough. You know, how come we came here and was able to blah, 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 blah. No. You understand now. All yous is niggas. all yous is niggas. With your advanced degree, with your small business, niggas in Americans' eyes, okay? Because that's just how it is. If it's non-white, it's nigga. And we'll be treating accordingly. All righty. Coming into the home stretch. Someone told me that LJ is in the building. We want to big up the good one. LJ, aka that nigga. We appreciate you, LJ. Thanks so much for coming in here. Big up to brother Lateef in the building. Who else do we got in here? Wilbert, crack the mic. Announce our folks. Who we got in the jump? Peace to everyone that's watching on all the streams. Ooh. I'm not a fan of this 2-stream shit. I think YouTube is shadow banning my channel. That's actually why I wore the deep cut joint, because, you know, I was trying to bring my milkshake out, because we got to bring the boys to we got to recapture the audience. You know, you got to bring the girls out. You want to get some clicks. You feel me? What's up, brother? Oh, I thought Will had cracked the mic. I guess he didn't. No worries. I appreciate you all being here. Thank you all so much. I'm going to get you out of here on a true palate cleanser. So as you know, I'm middle-aged and disabled. So I am a prime candidate to get food by, oh, here you go. What's up? You coming on here or what?
Yeah, my mic was acting up. What's up, y'all? I thought you could
there
hear.
you go, Wilbert. No, there you go. What's up, Wilbert?
All right, so I just wanted to shout out all the super chats we got.
Hey, we got super chats. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I take back all the bad shit. All the shit I talked about, y'all, I take it back. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's sure. They gonna believe that. They gonna believe that. Yeah, that sounded genuine. So shout out to Gang Green Thumb. They said, "Whose house runs house?" Very classic reference. Generational. Appreciate you. Shout out to Lady Alex. Shout out to Sugar Shan. Shout out to I think somebody's flirting. I said, "Sorry, Kim. I thought you were demonetized because you are so spicy. LOL. Thanks for being a spicy mama." Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, boo. Thank you, boo boo.
Shoot. I get it. And shout out to that was Luso African, and the next one is Embelled Fate 4270. Yes, thank you for your super chat. Said, "I was born on Turtle Island. There is no America." Okay.
All facts.
We got our people in the chat. You know, shout out to KJ Sakuma, Nobody Here, Friends, of course, Latif, Wendy, LJ, The Legend, Zorobabel. Shout out to them. Afraid Not. Chichi Mancha. Who else in here? Vespa X.
Peace,
Shout out
Vespa.
to our Twitch fam. Twitch. Shout out to y'all.
Got Rosalba. We got Dee Dee
Rosalba,
Morgan Witch.
Kindred Other, Liberty Twitcher. Shout
Liberty
out to y'all.
Twitcher. Shout out. PJ,
Yip.
what's up? Yipper. Yipper in here?
Yipper.
What's up,
Yipper.
Yip?
Whole Glow. Ode to John Trudell.
Oh, to John Trudeau. We appreciate your ongoing support. Thank you so much.
All right.
Well, that's sufficient. That's a
Yeah,
good
we got a shout out to Tyler.
son, my child. How could you forget? How could you forget my boy?
No, we got a lot of people in the chat.
Children of the Corn. Shout out Children of the Corn.
Oh no, coconut
in
the corn.
Coconut in the corn. My bad, baby. You're not a child of the corn.
Children in the corn. That's a good one.
Thank you, Coconut.
All right. Yeah. So, Kindred Other, we appreciate you.
Thank you
on Twitch. I'm just trying to make sure I got everybody. I think I got a lot of y'all. Respect and love, and hit that like. Hit the like.
Thank you so much, Will. Thank you all so much for, again, y'all make the time. That I mean, I do appreciate the money, but I know time is a more valuable commodity. So if you make any time to be here and to participate and to say what's up to the people, to the Fire Fam, thank you all so much. It really means a lot. So I just want you guys to know that I appreciate that. Our palate cleanser, the real one. So again, I told y'all I'm old, and I'm very susceptible to get fooled by AI. So I said that to say this opening part of this clip features Homeland Security Secretary Kunti Noem, and the Trump administration says so much wild shit on a daily basis. You almost have to double and triple and quadruple check it to verify that, is this real? Did they really say that? Did they really do that? So I knew that the Trump administration was offering people who opted to self-deport $1,000 to self-deport and a one-way flight home, hopefully, right? Who the fuck knows where they actually sending people, but still. So I heard about the 1,000. So when I saw the opening part of this clip, which is going to lead into a sketch, Kunti Noem says 3,000. So you guys let me know if that's accurate or not, because bitch, for $3,000, I might self-deport like with my passport. 3,000. Now you're talking. But anyway, but no, I mean, I know it's a very serious situation for people that are actually dealing with that. So I don't mean to make light of it. However, this skit does a good job. This palate cleanser. I hope you guys enjoy it because the shit made me laugh. So anyway, take it away, Will. Thank you.
Secretary.
If you're in this,
Madam Secretary.
If you're in this United States of America illegally, we will give you $3,000 through the holidays to send you home. We'll buy you a ticket, give you $3,000 to go home.
Good afternoon. From Homeland Security, how can I help you?
Yeah, hello. Is this the yellow people?
I'm sorry, yellow people?
Yeah, ICE. Is this ICE?
Wait,
Are you calling for immigration, customs, and enforcement?
Yeah, the immigration. Yeah, I'm ready for my money, my $3,000, and the flight. I'm ready for the vacation.
Oh, you're calling for the self-deportation program, sir. It's not a vacation, okay?
Okay, yeah. Listen, do I give you my cash out, my cell, or do I come to your house and you give me the money cash?
No, none of that. First, you have to confirm that you're an illegal alien, and
Oh,
then from there, we do the right...
My friend, E.T. is my cousin. I'm going to see my cousin, E.T.
Okay, you and your cousin are both illegal aliens, and this is for illegal immigrants, okay? Do you have any papers?
Oh, my friend, my printer don't even have paper. Why may you think I have paper? I'm ready.
What address are you in?
Oh, I'm here at the airport. I'm just waiting for you to send me the plane ticket. What airline? I like JetBlue. They have the nice cookie.
You're not supposed to be in the airport. It does not work that way, sir, okay? You got to give me the address where you are. We got to verify your information, and then we'll put you on a U.S. Marshal plane, and then you'll be deported back.
Oh, my God.
Come back to the country.
I'm here in JetBlue. I like a JetBlue. They have the good cookie. And they give me the whole can of the soda. You know when you go on the plane, some plane, they only pour you a little bit of the soda and then they don't give you the can. JetBlue, they give you the whole can and they let you keep it. So I'm here in JetBlue. They need the confirmation number from you.
First of all, JetBlue is for legal alien. You're an illegal alien, okay? So you're going on another flight, all right? Just stay right there, okay? I'm going to get someone to come pick you up and take you to the right place.
Okay, nice. Okay, now we talk. And the money, you going to bring the money?
I'm at the airport, dog. Send him the confirmation number. Are you gonna bring the money? I mean, anyway. Shout out to that's Poppy. That's the TikTok account, Poppy. Poppy's hilarious. I like what kind of accent is that, Rosalba? That sounds Caribbean Latino, but fuck do I know? Let me keep my speculations to myself. But shout out to Poppy and the comedic twist on what is otherwise a not good situation. But yes, we can find the absurdity and even the humor in the horrific, right? So shout out to them. I hope you guys enjoy that palate cleanser because it made me laugh when I saw it. No, I mean, I want JetBlue. JetBlue. I'm at the airport. Hold on. But did y'all hear the enthusiasm in which the ICE nigga answered the phone? Like, hold on, give me your address. We're going to send niggas over right now. God damn, everybody. Protect your neck out here because they are snatching folks. They are bloodthirsty and salivating to snatch folks, irregardless of their citizenship, their legal status. Just please be careful out here. So on that note, gang, I'll see y'all back here Friday. I will see you on the Remix Morning Show tomorrow and Thursday. Is that it? Happy January 6th, everybody. Yeah, happy January 6th. If you see a cop, tell him happy January 6th. He probably a fist bump you. You know what I'm saying? He probably was down there. But anyway, I want you guys to have a good, safe week. Happy 2026. Welcome to the new year. And peace to Will, to Molly, to all of our fantastic moderators, and of course, you, the Fire Fam. So we'll see y'all back here on Friday, gang. Love you guys. See y'all later. Bye-bye. Deuces.